Good morn, good arvo, and good eve, ladies and gentlemen and pixie pooper scoopers. I'm here to talk monsters, to entertain and to challenge you, as a GM and as a party. Mostly as a GM, yes. For your role-playing games. What do I mean by one-off monsters? And trying to include one in the world? Well, the sort of situation where you'd say, you are now facing the such and such. Okay? If you can use the word the instead of a such and such. If you have to say it's a something, that's no good, really, unless it's extremely limited and you know that the others will probably never be seen by anyone in the world, probably ever again. Medusa, right? Okay, she's a gorgon, but there are, limited numbers of them. Or maybe like a giant cyclops or something. There was, in Greek mythology, there's only 3 of them, right? Whereas you've got things like D&D, and my biggest complaint, my major biggest complaint against that system is that it is taken on face value, it's too high fantasy, and it's really watered down the nature of monsters and beasties and things, and the idea of even like, oh, a beholder, it's just so well known now and so done. Whereas if I was playing something fairly low fantasy and dark like Dragon Age, and I thought to myself, oh, what about including a beholder? And you say, oh, you wouldn't be able to use that because it doesn't exist in the world. No, true, a beholder wouldn't. But what about the beholder? As in, the world only has one, a one-off freak thing, or some sort of demigod or god thing. I mean, usually these things are actually gods, aren't they? Or something from the gods. I was looking at it recently and thinking about all the different things I could run in a low fantasy system, and thinking, oh no, I wouldn't be able to use that and bring that in because that's the world wouldn't fit that, and it wouldn't quite fit the world, and this wouldn't, that wouldn't. But then it just struck me, one-off monster. That would be a challenge. Give it a name, a named boss. It's once you've killed it, that's it. It's extinct. There's one of them. A great example, the Kraken. Oh wow, what an example! There's something beautiful there within mythology. If you've got a really low fantasy setting and you put something really unusual in there, you give it so much more emphasis than it normally would have, and the party will feel it a lot more. And when they kill it, it will mean more to them. There might even be an element of sorrow to it. Do you remember the old PlayStation game, Shadow of the Colossus? Beautiful, beautiful game. Anyone that gets a chance to play it absolutely should. And there's something like a couple of handfuls of really big towering monsters, and you go out there on your horse and you figure out the monster, how to kill it. And it's like a walking fortress, and you climb up it and try to identify its weak spot, and it tries shaking you off, and that's the whole game essentially, monster hunting. And each one is unique. Each one is this beautiful, horrendous but wonderful, unique creature, and you've got that sense of wrongness about you as you plunge your sword into it, because you are ending the world's chance of enjoying this massive thing, making it extinct. And there's something colossal within the historic notion of being part of something like that. It makes you legendary, getting to kill something. Might be a party that wants to kill a beast that wants to be left alone and that sort of thing, but it's very dangerous when cornered like that. You might be glory hunters, for example, and go after something, and then if it kills you, well, you got your just desserts, didn't you? Something really terrible and dangerous. Have you ever included uniques, one-offs that maybe didn't fit in the world that you were playing in? Or, if you haven't, can you think of any that you would like to include? That's the community question left for you guys out there. Let me know your thoughts on this subject, and whether you think I'm right or wrong, whether you think that you should play it down and then only bring it in sometimes the really interesting things to give more esteem and credit to the kill once it's been undertaken. But until next time, I'll see you at the table.